Speaking of banks, new accusations today against two of the nation's biggest for allegedly ignoring last year's 49-state settlement to help struggling borrowers by dragging their feet on hundreds of refinancing requests. Separately, a new study shows that bad loans still carried on banks' books are haunting the housing recovery. Diana Olick explains.
In New York today, State Attorney General Eric Schneiderman accused two of the nation's largest banks, Wells Fargo and Bank of America, of reneging on a deal to help millions of troubled borrowers.
This enforcement action, which is the first taken under the settlement, is based on 339 individual complaints from New Yorkers against these two banks in just the last 6 months.
The charges stem from the $25 billion settlement that came out of so-called robo-signing foreclosure abuses. It directs the banks to modify loans, forgive mortgage principal, and improve significantly the way they treat or service their customers. Specifically, the banks must respond to customer applications quickly. Joyce Harden says she and her husband have been trying to get help from Wells Fargo for 4 years.
I only hope and pray that they can open their eyes and, help us and help many other people just like me who are suffering.
The lawsuit comes just as mortgage delinquencies are starting to improve dramatically. Fewer borrowers are falling behind on their payments for the first time, and the number of those already behind is dropping too for several reasons.
Fewer inflows of new problem loans, progressions of loans through the foreclosure process, and since January 2010, over 3 million modifications taking place, all of which are removing loans from that delinquency pipeline.
The number of borrowers who owe more on their mortgages than their homes are worth also fell, down 41% from a year ago to around 9 million, according to Lender Processing Services. Still, these underwater borrowers have a far higher rate of default than those who still have equity in their homes. So are we out of the foreclosure woods yet? Not by a long shot. We are seeing the best numbers since 2007, but remember, 2007 was a pretty awful year for foreclosures. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Diana Olick in Washington.
And here are some of those numbers Diana just referenced. Today, there are still roughly 5 million borrowers either behind on their mortgages or in the foreclosure process.